let us. I mean,
And the stream starts with him doing it. All right.
all right, we're here.
Yes, all right, we're here.
What?
All right. All
All
right,
right,
everyone. I mean, everyone that's here right now and
everybody.
that was there before the beginning of the stream. Uh,
Who was that? Who would that be? Yeah, welcome.
all right. Welcome, everyone. This is going to be the first of hopefully many or numerous SC2 Swarm casts for CTL leagues and probably other leagues if we're going to cast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I am Jada Chard, and joined with me is.
Dreamer, dude, you were so good at that, by the way. That flowed so well. Like we didn't even pre-prepare that. You were just.
Yeah, of course,
boom.
man. Of course.
I'm James Shard.
Did the
We're
camera
here to
switch?
commentate. Sorry, did the
Alright.
camera switch?
Camera switch? Camera switch?
I don't know.
Direction. All right. Anyway, we are gonna be hopping into replays for CTL week 1,
Exactly.
which SC2 Swarm played against Guns and Roaches. Week
Mm-hmm.
1 was 3 weeks ago, so these are older replays. These are not fresh from this week. We're gonna be catching up week by week, and we're gonna be casting the weeks as they go. For example, next week we're gonna be this week we're gonna be casting last week's CTL, and so on and so on.
Yeah, and
So?
you know, it's the CTLs. I think it's a really great competition. It's been around for so many seasons. I mean, what's like the 16th or 17th season that I think it's in now?
I think we're between like 19 or something. There's been a lot of seasons. There's been a lot of seasons.
Yeah, so it's like it's really exciting to be I guess I don't know, to be doing this. I suppose I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
The opening matchup though is
All right. So I think we're gonna be ready to open into our first game. All right. So I think we're gonna be ready to switch into the game number 1 from SC2 Storm versus Guns and Roaches.
Yeah.
Just gonna be waiting for the switch. Yes. So we're gonna have Vevictus against Cornflake from Guns and Roaches and in a reverse order. Gonna do it again. SC2 Storm, Vevictus, and Guns and Roaches, Cornflake. For the first match, which was the gold match.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be Terran vs Zerg. I'm really excited to see, you know, people kind of meme about the Gold League, but I'm really interested to see what kind of creative builds they might come up with. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing this matchup.
We see all kinds of things.
Oh. Yeah. The opening game of SC Swarm in the CTL and the opening game for Guns N' Roaches in the CTL. You know, I'm sure both teams have been very excited for this.
Something I want to touch on when you mentioned gold matches is that in gold matches, when we compare like diamond matches, masters matches, is that we see, yes, we do see more mistakes, but sometimes we see some creative plays and we see something totally out of the boxes, and you just see like someone doing something like, what is going on, and it just works. So it's really fun, and it's just really interesting for that. So
I'm so excited to get this going.
All right. We seem to be having some sound issues, it seems.
Some production issues. That's fine, man.
It's fine. All right. So we will be jumping into the game for now. So, all right. We are going to be introducing the players.
Are we going to do the whole in the bottom right? Are we going to be doing that?
Yeah. Why don't you just start with it? Go for it, Dreamer.
Why not? Okay. Well, in the bottom right. Oh wow, Biddy, have you been practicing that? That was so sick.
Go for it. Go for it.
The one and only Vevictus. Whoa, good luck, have fun, he says.
All right. And in the top left, we're going to have from Guns and Roaches, the yellow Terran, Cornflake.
Dude, speaking of cornflakes, do you like, what's your breakfast of choice? Do you have a breakfast of choice? Yeah. Do you have a breakfast of choice? Like, what's your favorite breakfast?
A breakfast of choice?
Like cornflakes. Like, do you have cornflakes?
Oh, I mean, yes, we do have cornflakes. We have different kind of cereals. I mean, it just keeps on varying. So, I mean, I don't have a preference personally. I have some that I don't like, some that I like. There's no like particular just that pops to mind or anything.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna try and see. We're playing on Acid Plant for now. I mean, nothing seems to be too special for now. We're just looking at our players going for standard build. We're going to go for early scout.
First for Zerg. We're going to see the barracks come down. Although double gas going down.
The second gas is a bit early. I mean, the first gas was before barracks, which is not like special, but it's not the 100% standard. Well, we're gonna see a second gas quite early, as you mentioned. With
I'm
a Marine
excited
first.
to see where this leads. Well, the Marine first, he's got 1 mining gas. He's going to start stockpiling that and building towards, I guess he's going to put a factory down now. So possibly looking for maybe some Hellion harass. Could be even going into Cyclones. Maybe even some Starfall play. Yeah.
I mean, we're going to... This looks like a 1-1-1 build. We're probably going to see some Aliens into Banshee, most likely, with the amount of gas that we're going to have from our Terran player. I'm really curious to see where this leads. The Marine there trying to ward off against the Overlord, because he just wants to keep it hidden.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to try and...
Well, to be honest, just, as a Zerg player, I have to say, Terrans, you don't worry about it. Just let the Overlord float in. It's all good. It's just going to hang out. It's fine. There's no reason to stop the Overlord.
It's your friendly neighborhood Overlord. I mean, Terran player is going to start with some Hellions, while we're going to see Zerg player just going for some Lings, going for some Queens, getting a Ling speed. And we're going to try and see some fighting around the third attree.
Pew, pew, pew. And he gets the third base down, maybe. Ooh,
maybe he doesn't have the mineral for it. He doesn't have the mineral for it.
I think I also saw that he pulled off gas, so I think we're going to see just a standard 3 base play so far. Nothing too crazy out of the Zerg.
Yep. Rule of one gas.
Transition to a macro style.
Yep.
But here we go. We see a second factory go down for the Terran player.
A second factory before starport. We see an armory. This is looking for some heavy battle mech style early game with a second reactor. No, that's a tech lab. Tech lab on the way for second factory.
Yeah.
We're going to have to see what's going to happen with this while we see the command center on the way.
This is the fun of it, though, right? Trying to work out, trying to navigate the pathways, trying to think.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen?
Trying to see what the players are trying to think and trying to do with what they know. As of right now, Cornflake, I mean, both players haven't scouted that much. We're going to see Vivek's point of view right now. With the alert coming in, he's going to see the expansion finishing. He's going to see 2 factories, 1 with reactor, 1 with tech lab, and the
Hellions as well. He sees the Hellions too.
He sees 4 Hellions. The real question is he going to scout the armory? Is he going to scout anything else?
Blue flame begins with there's a cyclone popping out now as well.
And he also he saw the blue flame. He saw tech lab researching, and I don't think you're going to see drilling claws at 4 minutes.
I mean, you never know.
I mean, I wouldn't see blue flames with 4 minutes either, so.
Yeah, exactly. This is great. Opening game of the series. We've got CTL Victus. Week 1. And you always want to come up with your. It's always interesting. When do you cheese? When do you do an aggressive build in a series, right? Especially when you got teammates to consider as well.
Victus seems to be going for something really standard, where Cornflake is going for something quite outside the box. I mean, this seems like a really particular build, maybe a timing push that he's practiced, because this is not something standard at all. I'm really curious to see what it hits with, what timing is it going to hit with, and see how much damage it can deal. Because right now there's no Roaches, and Blue Flames, Alien, or Hellbats are going to do lots of damage to Zergling.
Yeah.
And that's something really scary.
This is what I really enjoy about team leagues in general, though, because you just know that this would have been something that they would have worked on with their teammates. They probably recognized something. Maybe they scouted something in Victus and their style of play. Maybe they were like, oh, look, this is an opportunity. We can catch them off guard with this build. So it's cool. It's cool.
It's really fun to see.
He's got a window here. Yeah, he's got a window here where he can actually do a lot of damage. Roaches are going to be popping out, though, so I guess he's not going to get across the map in time.
Although Victus with the positioning right now might be lucky or unlucky. If he goes in too soon, he might just run into the aliens and suicide all of it. While if he goes just at a good time, he may just go into an empty base. And we're gonna see. Oh god!
Oh, the timing.
The most horrible. Most horrible timing.
It's like 1 second later, and he probably could have got in and got some good, SCV damage there. But he's gonna pull back.
He got
Roach production. Roach.
Yes, Roach. You see Blue Flame. You see about 6 to 10 aliens. You don't think Lings are gonna survive. Queens are not gonna help. You need Roaches. No. This is what you need.
Yeah, Roaches, and he's doing that. He's got 6 on the way.
Yes. He's already had like 5 or 6 already out. He's getting Roach speed too. Terran has a little. Terran does not have that much SCV. He needs to do a lot of damage with this push. He needs to really work it. Gonna morph the L-Bats anytime now. He's gonna scan for the creep tumors. He really needs to morph the L-Bats. There we go, yep. We're gonna see the Hellbats coming up for the push.
I think there's too many roaches there. I mean, look at all the transfers from the queens, lings. I think
there's a huge surround on it, but the lings are just melting right now. I mean, that's a lot of damage.
That engage was quite awkward there, but I think with the reinforcements coming in, those 10 roaches are about to pop out.
Yeah, this is pretty. I think Vivek just held it. He's held the push with superior number. He got a really good surround with it, with the roaches and the lings and the queens. And Cornflake's macro did slip on the back of it. He was sitting at about 1.4k with about 1k gas in the bank too.
Yeah, that's...
And didn't manage to do any significant damage to Vivictus, who is back up to droning a bit, getting a lot of units.
500 APM just there for a second.
That's the moment where you just hold the D button and you just spam like drones and stuff. Yeah.
And we're seeing, well, I mean, like you just mentioned about the bank, you know, he's putting down more production buildings. You know, Roach speed is just finished. So I think this would be a great opportunity now for Vivictus to counter once he deals with this Hellion pressure. Just to apply pressure on the second, you know. He doesn't have to overcommit. But yeah, as just mentioned by our kind observer there, he's not going for upgrades himself.
So if the game stretches out,
yeah, we could see the Terran claw their way back. But you know, such a huge supply lead, I don't really see how the Terran's going to be able to break out to get a third base here. Like Vivictus could be looking for a fourth at this point. It could be putting down more queens, spreading his creep. Like Vivictus basically has full control of the map right now. And he's even going to start this. No, he doesn't have enough.
Nope. And then we're going to see the whole Roach army going up into the bases. Like, there's a lot of Roach. Can upgrade, do it for it.
Oh, he's just going to go straight to the... That's kind of brutal, going right there over the... into the
splash damage is doing a lot. There's a Hellbats, there's a tank in the back. The tank is doing a lot of damage with the plus. Right now, and he clears most of the Roaches with it. He defends the push, and he's pretty much back on supply, or at least really close to it.
And the game
really not looking good.
Yeah, the game more or less resets at this point, right? Like,
I mean our current player is back up on worker count, and he's even ahead right now.
Yeah,
this isn't looking good though for Victus. This push was really a disaster. He's lost a lot of units for this. He didn't kill about anything. What I think we're seeing is a difference in tech right now.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him just sort of contain, you know, take the fourth base and just set up a contain on the Terran, you know, and just sort of say, hey, you're not gonna be able to leave your base. I'm gonna take the map, and I'm just gonna macro hard. But instead, you know, he goes through the funnel through the supply depot, and it just, like you said, the splash damage was just too much.
And now Cornflake's back with a counterattack with two blue flame Hellbats in the main. These may get a lot of damage done. We can just see like, oh, they two-shot anything, just about anything to get two-shot. And there's a slow reaction.
Yeah, pretty good macro there as well. I saw the picking up the Hellbat, dropping it, picking up the Hellbat, dropping it.
Yep.
He's gonna save the medevac, and he's just gonna fly away. Some good drone damage there too.
Did some good damage. He forced some mining time. Forced a reaction at least. That's the good part about it.
Oh, thank you, Beardy, for the workers killed there. We see the 9 workers were killed there.
But we're still gonna
by an expert caster, not caster. What's the word for it?
Observer.
Observer. That's it. Yeah, by an expert observer there.
Yeah. But yeah, what we're gonna see is Vivictus trying to spread some creep, trying to get his drone count back. His army supply is really below right now. He's trying to get his upgrades too, so he's gonna try and take up a bit.
66 workers. He's got 1.2k minerals in the bank. That's always awkward. You know, a good frame of mind generally is when you start floating like that is just throw some hatches down.
Yep, throw some macro hash.
The minerals. Exactly, macro hash. You may as well put down a fifth at this point. You know, like I guess what have you got to lose really? You're not going from 1,800 minerals to 1,500 minerals. You're not really gonna like, you know, like.
It just doesn't bode well. Both players are getting some upgrades a bit delayed. We're gonna see +2 starting. We're gonna see a lot of tanks from our Terran player. Tank Hellbats seems to be the choice for Cornflake. Quite a dangerous army, especially considering Vivictus seems to be stuck on Roach Hydra for now. He doesn't have what he lacks is specialized units. For example, either Swarmos, Vipers, something to actually break the mech. Because if the mech takes a position, Roach Hydra is not gonna break through it easily. Tanks are just going to demolish these camp position.
He's just gonna sit on that third base and just defend, and he's gonna. And the Terran, I mean, look, he's insane with the Terran only has 41 workers, and this is a nice little roach push here just to stop the third, which I think is really important right now. Stopping the third there, I think this might just be enough. You know, we see the Chobo team league there. I didn't know they actually had the map logos. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
We're gonna have an engage on top though right now. The pack of Roaches that was there beforehand, it's gonna get engaged by some Cyclones and some Hellbats. It's gonna be chased away.
That's a lot of Widow Mines.
That's a lot of Widow Mines. I'm not sure what these are doing there. I don't think they have the necessary range.
They're holding down the fort.
The other good thing is that Vivictus already got Overseers for it. So he's probably gonna be able to see them and clear them out with Hydralisk, which outrange them. Although do not try and clear them with Roaches because they're gonna blow up.
+2/+2 is about to finish in time to defend. Is it or is it just started there? I can't really tell from the graphics again. It just started. Okay, never mind.
So +1/+1 is finished, but we're even on upgrades right now. No, he is ahead. We don't even know what we're talking about. We're gonna see both armies posturing around the rocks. We're gonna see Terran siege tanks. They're gonna try and break the rocks down. There's a lot of explosions.
Yeah.
We're gonna see them try and break through. He's gonna try and push for Zerg's fourth base, while the Zerg player is gonna try and go for a big flank around. This
is a great flank. Look at this. He's gonna get the siege tanks from behind. He's gonna completely
the fourth flank was really late to the fight, and he's gonna get like engaged in two attempts.
Oh no!
This is not looking well. This is a great idea by Vivictus. However,
great idea. I'm so excited. I was like,
but it wasn't synchronized well. That's what happened. And the siege tanks just demolished one flank after another. Like a volley of 6 siege tanks with +2 is way too dangerous for Roaches, and the fourth base is gonna fall over with it.
Yeah. This is where the fifth base. Yeah, he's like, fifth base is gonna come in handy here. Yeah, he's gonna move across and say, yep, all right, I'm just gonna mine here now. You know, bear in mind the fact that the Terran doesn't even have a third yet. So technically,
and the main is mined out entirely.
Yeah, no, Vivictus is in an amazing position right now. Definitely his army is quite scary, but economically speaking,
these tanks are still doing a lot of damage while Vivictus is trying to kick them out. I feel like he's trying to push too much into these tanks. He's losing a lot for it. This is not a cost-efficient trade, but he can afford it since he has more income. Cornflake's literally living on his bank. He's living on the money he's been placing in for the last 10 years. He's jobless right now, but he still has a lot of money in the bank.
But, you know,
hoping to make it back sometime.
He made some good investments early on in life.
Yeah.
So he's kicking back on the beach. He's a little stressed, but for the most part, he's all right. He's all right.
Builder catching up, but he doesn't care. Doesn't care. At some point, the Roaches are gonna get out. They're gonna leave. So we're gonna see a Spire down for Vivictus and a Hive. When I was talking about getting some tech up, we're gonna see some tech up right now. I think we're gonna see a Broodlord transition sometime soon. Terran player trying to take a position to siege up the 5th though. We're gonna clear all the creep tumors. We're gonna clear some of what's left of the 4th. Some Cyclones are getting lost to the 3rd.
He's gonna kill that extractor.
Cyclones are moving around.
The extractor goes down. You're not mining gas from there anymore.
Nope. And then we're gonna see Terran finally taking his 3rd base while attacking the natural. And this is not a great engage though for Cornflake, who's gonna lose most of his army. Even the tanks, the Hellion, the Cyclone, everything's dead right now. Except for a cluster of Widow Mines. Oh my god, oh boy! This is doing a lot of damage. This is doing a lot of damage though. Even the Biles, I think, hitting his own army.
Yeah, Caress's Biles on their own, but I feel like that was a bit of a BM move. I want to believe that was a BM move. That was like look, I'm so far ahead, I can caress his Biles myself.
This was a really scary push though. These Widow Mines could have done really lots of damage. We're gonna see a push in front of Cornflake's main. This is the game that's getting really messy. We're seeing a lot of Roach Hydra engage into Siege Tank, Killbat, Cyclone. Both players not taking up that much forward to that. We're not gonna see any Sky Terran, we're not seeing Broodlords yet. Not seeing any Vipers.
No Ultra.
We're staying on low tech unit, and we're just.
Which I love. It's scrappy. You know, it's a knife fight.
It's basically scrappy, and we're someone's gonna make me eat my words. We're gonna see Greater Spire for Vivictus, and we're not gonna see Banshee.
We're gonna see the 16-minute tech switch to Banshee. Always catches the opponent off guard. Not a lot of people expect the 16-minute Banshee. I think this is gonna do a lot of you know, you hope it's gonna do a lot of economic damage for Cornflake's case.
I hope so, because one Banshee cannot deal damage to this army. Especially with the amount of Hydralisk we have.
It's going to be a hero Banshee on the way here.
Banshee's going to need 25 kills on drone.
And he's got this kind of hit squad here with these 2 Cyclones. He's going to look to do some drone damage. And he's not reacted to it quite yet.
Nope, and these are quite dangerous Cyclones. They're going to deal a lot of damage right now. We're going to see more drones getting killed right now on the turret base. This is really starting to do some damage for just 2 Cyclones being sent there. And the whole army is going to be pulled back too.
Even the extractor goes down, not the extractor.
And the whole army is being pulled back for it. This is quite worthwhile for just 2 Cyclones.
That was so good. See, I'm telling you, this Banshee's going to do so much damage.
If the Banshee can
turn the game around.
If the Banshee can be as worthwhile as those 2 Cyclones were, we may have a chance. All right, Banshee is.
Here we go.
Banshee cam.
Ready to go.
Banshee cam.
Here we go. Oh, that queen.
No, nothing.
Oh, hang on.
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?
Who's gonna win?
Oh,
all the Banshees.
Banshee dead.
Well,
Banshee dead.
look, you know what?
I think we hyped it too much. We just put her under too much pressure. But we're gonna start seeing the Hellion run bys. Oh my god. The drones are dying.
Stage fright.
The drones are dying by tons though. I mean, we're seeing dozens of drones dying right now. Hellion run bys, Cyclone run bys, not Banshee run bys sadly.
No.
We're gonna, I mean, Cornflake
57 workers though. He's only 11 workers ahead.
He's got a big army.
They've got such a huge bank. It's just the gas.
Oh,
gas is letting him down.
I'll be on. I'm just gonna ask. That's a lot of siege tanks in front of Cornflake's natural.
And he's just got Roach Ravager, and a couple 31 Hydra. Like, that's brutal. I don't know how you break that, to be honest. Without Viper and without Broodlords, even without Ultralists, to be honest. Ultras can be awkward against siege tanks and get quite clumped up. But I mean, I guess it's tech-wise, it is something though.
He needs to get his Broodlords up. He's built Corruptors. He has the greatest power. He just needs to get the Broodlords. He also has the money. He just needs to click it. Click it. This is all we're missing. Because right now I feel like he has a way better army. He just doesn't have the tools to push in and finish the game. This is what we're missing.
Exactly.
He has the economy. He has the map advantage. He's quite in a good position. Vivictus is. It's just he needs to finish it. He needs some way to actually get the last nail in the coffin. Whereas for Cornflake, he needs to just he needs to get some good engages. He needs like to bait Vivictus into a bad fight. He needs to get a lot of siege tanks in.
Yep.
And we're gonna see a single Zergling getting. Oh god. Oh god. Oh boy. Close your eyes, children. Close your eyes, children. I mean, the aliens are just looking like, oh, should we do
something? Nah.
These SCVs can deal. These SCVs can fend for themselves.
They don't. They're on strike at the moment. They're hoping for a pay rise, like the Banshee. The Banshee was also on strike. Across the map there. Just thought, you know what? I'm gonna send my boss a message here, and I'm just gonna chill.
So this is Cornflake's moment right now. He's trying to go out. He's open to get a good engage, and I hope he's gonna need a really good engage if he wants back into this game. We're gonna see the first Broodlord morphing, but this is still a scary tank push. But he's taking off guard. He's not even sieged. The Roach Hydra is ready to go in with the Ravagers.
The Roach Hydra Ravager is, I think he's overstepped his bounds here.
Yeah, he's gonna lose most of his army. He's gonna fall back to 44 army supply. Most of the tanks are dead. It's gonna take a while and a lot of resources to rebuild all these tanks.
Broodlords are now morphing. We've got one there flying.
And we've got tree news coming. This is gonna be way too much Broodlord for him. And we have like creep tumors all across them. It's not even creep there anymore.
Yep. I think well, we're going for triple Evo chamber there. Actually, I think he's got 4 Evo chambers. There's also one in the main. So
normally for
flying in.
Normally, you either get upgrades, you also get Vipers, but I don't think he's gonna get Vipers this game. 5 Evo chambers.
5 Evo chambers. Well, I mean, you hope they're gonna get Vipers so that way they can consume the Evo chambers. If not, that's fine. I guess it's just a bit of a flex, I suppose. Like, hey, I've got the money, I may as well 6K in the bank. As you said, invested in their future.
So I hope Cornflake's gonna need to reinvest somewhere though, because his main and natural are mined out. His third is mining. His fourth just starting to mine. Vivictus needs to push out right now, because if he lets his opponent breathe and mine back, he may get another army, because he's about doubling his supply. He should probably try and deal some damage, especially since he got the Broodlord. He's about to hit the supply cap. There's nothing more really he can wait for.
I don't even
We're
think you
gonna
need to bother about defending this, to be honest. I feel like you just gotta go, right? Like, you need to deal with that.
I mean,
This is just
you
flip
just
the
send
switch,
like,
you know?
oh no, and he sends the whole army back to try and deal with it. He's gonna deal with it, I hope, but I mean, this is a lot of time that Cornflake is buying in.
You know
We're
what?
at
I gotta
40
say,
drones.
Cornflakes has done some amazing worker damage this game.
Yeah,
I have
that's
to
a good
say,
thing. That's a good thing he's been doing.
multitasking has been great in that sense. You know, always been proactive about that.
Mhm.
I just really think the Vivictus needs to flip the switch right now and just go.
He needs to realize he's so far ahead. He's got bases around. He's got a big bank. He's got production. He's 200. He's about 200 supply. Yeah, you said it right. He needs to flip the switch, and he just needs.
You know
to
what it might be. You know what it might be. You have cornflakes for breakfast. Maybe Vivictus has slipped in a little bit here. He's not ready to eat his cornflakes yet.
But I think I think the alarm's rung, and he's going for the fourth base. I think this.
Just going off.
Oh boy, this is not looking well. I mean, I think he's catching up for all the drones he's lost in his season kill. We're gonna see the engage with the Taurus, the Cyclones, everything's getting engaged on. There's a lot of damage space. That's a good entire missile, but the blinding clouds are really good right now. Beautiful. The blinding clouds on all the tanks. And I think Vivictus is just gonna roll through this base and take the win right now. The Broodlords are untouched. There's a lot of army here. The Hydras, the Roaches. Everything's dead for Cornflake. And we still have a big bang for Vivictus. He's still on, what, 7 bases?
He gets revenge. He gets revenge on the extractors and he kills
all the drones that died were paid back in SCB blood.
He's gonna kill the other refiner as well, get revenge on his lost extractors. I like it.
We're about even between SCVs and drones. It's 47 to 43. But yeah,
on to the production. You know, as a Terran, yeah, there it is.
And we get the GG.
Woo!
And this is game 1.
I like the sportsmanship there.
Yeah, that was a really good game. I'll be honest. That was a really scrappy game, as we mentioned. We've had engages from all sides. We stayed to the Roach Hydra phase for a long time. But we managed to switch it out of it. We got some IRT in it. We got some Vipers, Broodlords. We got some Taurs. A great game all around. I mean, that was great. That was a great way to start the series.
Yeah, because I think what we saw there, you know, was they came into that game. Both players came into that game with a plan, right? Obviously, you hope they come with a plan. It's a bit redundant to say that, but I mean, more the idea of like they thought, you know what, we're going to do this Hellbat cyclone timing attack. Yeah.
Yes.
And we're going to try to catch the Zerg off guard because we know that they like to play macro. So, you know, they probably would have done some scouting because Vivictus likes to do a 3-hatch style. And I think, you know, he was on the ball in terms of scouting, you know. And because of that, you know, he was able to get his roaches up in time. He reinforced well. There was a couple awkward engages, but overall, I think it was just really quite solid play.
That was a really good game. It went scrappy, but it was like good scrappy. What I meant by that is really we had both players going for the plan, as you mentioned, going for the early battle mech, going for some roaches early, trying to defend it, getting some transition of it. It seemed like both players had a plan for early game, and then when mid game arrived, they're like, I guess we're gonna stick to what we did earlier and just try and push up with it. So they both continued battle mech, they both continued Roach Hydra. They weren't too sure how to transition.
It was almost like they were just sort of thinking like, one of us is better at the other person at this, and we're just gonna fight it out until we work out who is better at. You know what I mean? Like they almost like they made a gentleman's agreement almost, and just kind of be like, let's just do this. We're just gonna make this work.
It was really fun. All right. So we are going to be ready to jump into our second game for week 1 of CTL between Sc2 Swarm and Guns and Roaches. We are going to have a Roku against Dropping Bodies.
Oh
yeah.
We've gone from Cornflakes to Dropping Bodies. They've just had their breakfast. They're ready to go. Dropping Bodies says good luck, have fun. They're friendly about it. They drop bodies, but they're friendly about it with the good luck, have fun.
We're going to start with our player introduction, starting in the bottom left. For Sc2 Swarm, the pink Zerg player, it's a Roku.
Brilliant. Nailed it. Perfect.
And would you please introduce our player in the top right?
Dropping bodies, yellow like a banana. You never suspect the banana to drop bodies. It's dropping bodies. Oh!
Oh my. These are introductions. Oh my.
Looks like we go for a very similar build on a refinery going down first. We're seeing a little bit of an alt tab there by our expert observability. That's always entertaining. Whoops.
We're treating this guy. Someone's typing and two guys are laughing. This is the cast.
That's the cast. I mean, look, I asked you before about cereal, you know. About the cornflakes. What about lunch?
I mean, for lunch.
What are you doing for lunch, man? What are you doing for lunch?
Sandwiches are always good.
Poutine. You see the poutine shot.
All right. We're gonna go on a tangent from the game for a couple minutes because right now we have a standard.
Everything's on standard right now.
I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to say what's going on. We have Edge gas pool. We have gas into barracks. This is standard. We have a Reaper expand for Terran. All good. Poutine.
All good.
Poutine. All right.
Poutine. All right.
Everyone, drop what you're doing. Poutine. If you know what it is, this is great. Just keep on going. Do you know what poutine is?
Of course I know. Well, actually, maybe. What's poutine?
All right.
Is that chips with gravy?
It's 3 ingredients which are great by themselves, which are even better together, which is French fries, gravy, and cheese curds.
Oh, that's good.
So you take all of these 3, you make sure they're warm enough, you put them in the bowl, you get it all together, you mix it up a bit, and then you're good. You can also add different ingredients on top. Yeah, Beardy, I don't care about +1 melee attack. It doesn't matter. We're gonna talk about this later.
It's priorities right now.
Alright,
okay, we've got poutine to talk about.
Poutine is really great. The best thing about poutine is that you can mix up literally anything on top of it. You can add bacon, you can add pulled pork, you can add smoked meat, do whatever you want. So yeah, this was the poutine tangent.
Yeah,
we're gonna go back.
Coming from Australia, I don't know if we really have poutine here in Australia. Hey.
Maybe you don't. But I think we're gonna go back to this in between games because right now we have something really special as Beardy was trying to point out. So we're gonna see a 2-on-1 build for our Terran player. Pretty standard. For those who don't know, 2-on-1 is a build that attempts to hit as fast as you can with 2 medvacs and 16 marine with stim. While we have Oroku playing a pretty good build against it, which is, I mean, we're gonna see a fast +1 melee attack. We're gonna see Zergling speed, a third hatchery. This is something pretty spicy, especially when you see the last component, which is a Bailing Nest.
Yeah.
This is a build you might have seen on ladder, you might have not seen. If you're not on a Zerg part, you don't want to see this build. This is not what you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, if he hits this correctly, it's just going to crush the attack. I mean, he might even hit before. Yeah, it depends on how he wants to go about it. If he wants to be hyper aggressive with it, but I guess most of the time you just want to crush it and then swarm basically. Yeah.
The way this build works for Oroku, which is the +1 Bailing Bust, you literally hit about as the 2-on-1 goes out, or literally after it goes out, so the medvacs aren't even home. And you literally go with some Bailings, you bust the wall, you go in with the Lings, you flood the whole base, and you kill everything. That's pretty much the big of it. So he's still not that bad in worker count. It's still a pretty aggressive build. He stops at 27 drones, as we can see. Starts smurfing the Bailings at his opponents first. So we're gonna have a faster rush.
Right at speed and +1 about to finish. That's really good.
This timing is nailed down perfectly by Oroku right now.
This is perfect.
Terran player just started his medvac, doesn't have stim. There are some marines in front of the base. There's no wall at the natural though.
The wall is not done yet. Yeah, look.
Barely started.
Those marines.
Oh boy, this might be brutal for our Terran player. Dropping bodies. He's gonna have to find an answer, but he doesn't even notice we're trying. The Bailings coming. We're gonna have a couple Bailings die. Oh, the marines die instantly to the Bailing. The Lings flood in. They're gonna kill a lot of CVs. There's +1 Lings. These Lings are dangerous, you gotta remember.
Yeah, and he's just going hard on Lings too. There's no macro behind this. He's just saying, you know what, I'm all in from here.
Yes. He's doing it the right way. He knows he crushes the natural. He kills all the marines down there. He forces a lift off. Gets some more Bailings, ready to bust the wall. If he gets enough Bailing, he can just blow up the reactor and both the supply depots, which are going to force a supply block, and he's going to make sure all things inside it. So we're going to see the Bailings, a lot of damage dealt. Both the buildings are about to fall down. Lings are going to break it through. It's burning down. This is a surround.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you. What happens when the body dropper drops? What happens when the person who's there to drop the bodies drops? What happens there?
It just drops. It just slams down.
That's it?
That's it. And I mean, this is a violent build. I mean, as we can see, there's the Lings flooding everywhere. There's no more unit. There's +1 everywhere. And Heroku just becomes the next body dropper. Yep, we already said
There
it.
you go. Dude, he got there eventually. He's trying to tap it out.
Yep. Right, we're just seeing links everywhere. He's trying to frantically micro his medvacs, trying to CV back. He's producing more medvacs than he has units. For those not sure, there are more medvacs than Marines right now. It's a mess. He's dropping the Marines, trying to heal up. There's a medvac for every Marine and a half, so there's just like everyone's getting healed up, but there's too many links.
If you micros this like innovation,
I mean,
actually,
even then,
big innovation you get out of this situation.
it was 66 to 12 supply. That was a really good timing by Heroku. Looking at it, the +1 Bane attack is really dangerous. As you see, it just one-shots. It pretty much one-shots the Marine, the front of the natural. Gets into the mineral line, kills most of the SCVs, forces a liftoff. More of a second round of bailing, and then you just go up the ramp, you blow it up. We've seen it. And then you flood links into the main, and +1 links are really dangerous, either for buildings, for SCVs, for Marines, everything. They just die.
Yeah. You know, I've almost got a feel for the Terran player a bit there. You know, the 2-on-1 was looking good. It was looking strong. You know, it's a great build against. It's an incredibly strong build. But there you go. That's the power of, I guess. I'm almost, you know, I want to say that Heroku prepared for that in the build-up. I want to say that they probably did some scouting in the lead-up, and they probably thought, you know what, we can catch them off with this.
I mean, yes, what you're saying is really good because I mean, 2-on-1 is a pretty standard build. We've seen it quite a lot, either on ladder tournaments and stuff. But preparing for these kind of build, the +1 bailing bust has been.
And we're just going to do a little bit of promo here, apparently. Apparently, we're just going to do a little bit of SC Swarm. We're actually just going to do a little bit of a build order read here. Okay. We're just going to do a live build order read. A little bit of, what's the word? Non-humble promotion. I'll raise my head for the camera as well. Because, I mean, unless we could also just do this.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I mean, pretty much the way the build works for the 2-on-1 is that it's another 2-on-1 for the +1 bailing bus. It literally hits, as we saw in the game, as the build is ready to move out. So the Terran player is literally taken off guard. Do I defend? Do I push? What am I doing? The units are not in place. It's really hard to defend when you're on your timing to move out, which made it super awkward for drop-in bodies to defend.
And it was close in terms of supply deepers as well. I feel like. Yeah, he nearly plugged it. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been too hard for him to scout. Maybe if you want to save your scans from mules so you can get the correct, the appropriate minerals up, so you can hit the right timing. So obviously you don't want to scan ahead with something like that. But yeah, you know, Heroku hit the timing perfectly, and that's just what happens, I suppose. You know, it's just a straight build order win. You know, just a straight build order win.
All right, so we're gonna jump into our next game. Although slight thing, there was a walkover for Sc2. Player was not able to play. Can my production let me know how it went for the walkover? I have a blank. Which player did not show up, or which team did not put a player for the roster? Because I have a good memory. Wait, can you pause? Oh, all right. I guess we're gonna see the walkover. We are mixing up things. All right, so okay. Oh, this is gonna be special. All right, in the bottom left, for SC Swarm, the Zerg player, it's me.
Wow, how are you doing this at the same time?
All right, and in the top right,
with no hands. You're playing with no hands.
For top right, it's for Guns and Roaches. It's Azure. Woo! All right. I've had the information in chat from my co-captain. Guns and Roaches did not have a player, and Josh, was their player. So it's a walkover for SC Swarm. So alright, this is my game. So I mean, yes, it's a ZVZ on 16-bit.
I'm gonna assume you know the result to this one. I'm just gonna take a wild guess.
No, I don't.
Oh, no, you don't.
All right.
Well, we are gonna see a hatch, gas, and no pool yet.
I mean, hatch, gas, pool for both players, yeah. Literally slightly delayed.
Slightly delayed, yeah.
I mean, it's not really delayed. It's just doing it.
Fine.
We're gonna see both players with pretty much the same build for now. Hatch, gas, pool on both sides. 16-bit is a map that's pretty interesting for most games, since there's a pocket expansion, as we can see, and both players choosing to go for the pocket base. It's a more easily defendable position in most cases. The issue with Zergs is the way the creep spreads is different. If you take the forward base, you can more easily spread creep towards your opponent. Whereas if you take the pocket base, you can defend it faster, but you cannot spread creep that easily. There's pros and cons for both sides. So the argument is still always there.
I personally prefer the pocket in ZVZ on this map.
Okay.
Just because I feel like creep has less of an impact in ZVZ as opposed to other matchups.
Fair enough.
I feel like there's no in other matchups though, you know, against Terran and against Protoss, I feel like there's less incentive to take the outside one as your third. You may as well just put the outside one as your second and then put the inside one as your third. Just because you're guaranteed to keep it up.
I have a slightly different point of view for the ZVZ. I normally take the forward base, which I didn't do in this game, because it's easier to block the ramp in case you get cheesed early on. For example, if you get 13-12, you get 14-14, 15-H. Getting both your queens to the forward ramp makes it easier, whereas getting your queens from the turret, from the natural pocket base to the forward ramp is impossible. Don't even try. Right now we're gonna see Azure try to scout Jaded Shard with Willor, which is gonna get sniped down by queens, but he sees the lair. This is a really fast lair, by the way.
Let's point out we're definitely there's no third base from either player here. You're both going for lair actually.
Yes, these are both early lair. Although the choice of tech is really different.
The tech deviation we're seeing is you're here go for the Baneling Nest and you're going for the Roaches. Yes. Which tech-wise, I suppose, puts you at an advantage at this point. I would say.
It really depends on what the mid game goes off. To be honest, Azure goes for slightly more lings, whereas Jaded Shard's going for more queens, drones, bigger economy overall. Whereas we may see some 3-base link bin aggression, we might see 2-base link aggression. It's not 100% clear yet. We're gonna see a creep shimmer 2 instead of an inject, which is a bit weird. So right now, the Roach Horn finishes. We see a lot of gases for Jaded Shard. This is quite early, and we're gonna see the Nidus network.
We're gonna see the Nidus. Yeah. So we're gonna basically look to take advantage of the fact that the 16-bit is a map that, you know, like you mentioned before about putting queens on the ramp. It can be quite a defensible map, you know, but there's a lot of space there to drop the Nidus.
We're gonna see a couple of things. We're gonna see Novaseer to make sure to get the vision for the Nidus network. The Nidus network is about to finish. We're seeing lots of roaches. There's also queens in Jaded Shard's main base, which are probably ready to go, I would assume. I mean, looking at the minimap, I can see most of everything getting pulled back towards the Nidus network. Whereas the lings are still in front of the base, delaying and trying to make sure what's going on. Nidus Worm detected in the main base of Azure. This might be. We're gonna try and see how he reacts to it. Does he have any vision on it?
He's gonna get the Bane on top of that Nidus and now. But the problem is that because
he has to do it now, because if he lets it go, it's just too late. So we're gonna see the queens popping up. Transfusers are ready. Roaches are out. The surround for lings is probably maybe enough. This is really pretty cool. The transfusers are pretty good. We're gonna see roach reinforcement coming up every about 20 seconds or so. There's a lot of roaches. There's quite a couple of queens, and we're gonna see a tap out from Azure.
Wow. Just a solid, I mean, once again, we see just another, I don't want to say another build order win, but I just want to say that really decisive play. You know, just clean execution of a build. She scouted the early lair, and what would have been nice, I think, from a Zeus perspective, is just to send 1 or 2 more lings just to kind of poke on the front, just see what was going on, you know?
Just to make sure, because if you see there's something's up, you gotta make sure, is it Mutalisk? Is it like fast roach speed with +1? Is it Enitis? Is it... There's a lot of choices, but you gotta make sure what's coming up, because if you don't know what's going, and you just, for example, in this game, you just receive a Nidus Worm and you're not sure what's going on, you just die pretty much.
And you're sitting there blindly making lings and banes, which is fine. The only problem is that you have to be repetitively scouting, especially if you see a lair that early. We're also apparently going to see Beardy do some ladder now, which I think...
Yeah. I mean, for those who want some tips against Nidus Worms, just going to give it the tips, because this was me in the game, so I played quite a couple of games with it. The way to counter the Nidus Worm is that you put about 4 to 5 Banelings just beside the Nidus Worm as it pops. And the second it gets an HP bar, because at the beginning it's invulnerable, when it pops up, you explode the banelings. You're gonna delay the Night of Swarm because it's gonna one-shot it. Opponent's forced to get another Night of Swarm. It's costing money every time.
So
You
much
keep on
gas.
delaying. You're costing a lot of gas to your opponent, and then you can get your own tech behind it. If you want to go for
And
more
also-
lane bane, you want to get some units, you want to get Roaches.
Yep. And by interrupting the Nidus network too, it also means you're breaking into their roach production or their, whatever they're using their gas for. You're also cutting into that. If they have to buy another Nidus network, that's 4 roaches that they can't make.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is just amazing when, if you were to scale it out. Oh, we're actually gonna see another matchup. This is a TVZ.
Oh yeah. This is great. This is a great night.
Much like the last match. We're gonna see me this time.
All right. So just a small update for the series right now, because we haven't done any updates for now. We are at 5-0. Set 3 was a walkover. Yep. As of right now, set 1, 2, 4, and set 1, 2, and 4 were wins for SC Swarm, where set 3 was a walkover. If I am not wrong with the count, yep. So we're on to set 5.
This is set 5.
Yeah, set 5 going on. We're gonna be. Yep, it's 4-0. So SC Swarm wins the series. However, match still counts for the rankings in case of tiebreakers and stuff. But we're gonna be jumping into game number 5 between in another TVZ. We have had a lot of TVZs. Starting in the bottom left for Team Guns and Roaches, it is Lightning.
Woo!
And would you introduce our top left player, please?
The top left, probably sleeping to be honest. It is Dreamer.
Hey, that's you.
Having a bit of a chat there,
Yeah,
about the trip. The actual holiday. Yeah, actually, I went to Tasmania.
Oh.
It's so beautiful. Australians kind of forget about Tasmania. It's almost like it's not part of the mainland, so it's just kind of there.
Oh yeah, it's there, but no one thinks about it.
Yeah. So when my partner was like, "Hey, we're gonna go to Tasmania," I was like, "What's a Tasmania?"
What's a Tasmania?
but to my pleasant surprise, it was just incredible. Everywhere you look is just so beautiful. The mountains, it's so peaceful. We could see Mona. Shout out to Lightning too.
It's really fun to have.
So nice and so courteous just to have a nice little chat like this.
Yeah, you're having a chat in the game, just talking about your trip, talking about your break and vacation. It's really fun for that. We're really having a lot of friendly people in the games right now for both teams. It's really nice to see the team league being just so friendly. It's just a big community.
Yeah, I think CTL has done a good job of that, of kind of keeping everyone together.
Yeah. All right, but back to StarCraft now. You're talking about above the clouds. We're talking back to space now. We're in this future space.
Back to space? Okay.
Yes. So, Dreamer you're going for a pretty standard Ashgath pool opener. Your Overlord is set right on your opponent's base, your first Overlord. Whereas Lightning went for a pretty much standard Reaper expand, and his SCV Scout is on the wrong base.
Yeah, that hurts.
Gonna get no information for now. And you're gonna see in just a couple of seconds that your opponent is on bottom left, which is quite a good information normally on Darkness Sanctuary. Just knowing where your opponent is ahead of time is really good, because sometimes you don't even know where they are, but they know where you are, and then they get an advantage because they can get some attacks, they can get some early aggression, whereas you're just stuck in the dark.
Yeah.
Literally why the map's called Darkness Sanctuary. Good job, man.
Yeah, that's some good observational skills there.
So we're gonna see the Reaper jumping in right now. The Lings are trying to defend it. We're gonna see how both players micro it as far. There's not much. We're gonna see maybe a couple Lings get killed. As long as there's no actual drone kills, it's nothing too bad. Reaper's gonna come back in, get chased by the Lings. For people who don't play ZVT, it's a super fun mini game where both players try to get. It's a game where both players try to kill the Reapers, try to kill drones, and depending on your level, are gonna forget about macroing. Basically.
So you just try to poke your head out and just try to be like, and then eventually you win the fight, and then you realize you lost the war because you're like, now I'm floating 7,000 minerals. And
So we're gonna see a fair dodge, pretty standard timing for Dreamer, and we're gonna see 1-1-1 with Alien Banshee probably, or Alien Raven maybe, from Lightning. Nothing too particular, pretty much standard openers all across. Going for macro styles, going you know, getting a safe economy. The Reaper is trying to say, I'm gonna kill this hatchery. Gonna do it. Spoilers.
He's gonna do it.
Spoilers.
He's gonna do it. Spoiler alert, he kills the hatchery with that Reaper.
Whoa, this would be funny though. I mean, how long does it take? Has anyone done maths? I mean, I know Hedenil said in chat you don't do maths on stream, but
Never do
anyone, does anyone know how long it takes for a Reaper to kill a hatchery? I'm really curious to know that.
I would
Like
love to know that.
Like 6 minutes?
How long would the Zerg need to be not paying attention for the Reaper to actually kill that
A
third?
long time. Oh wait, it's not. Wait, I just realized the build is. We're gonna see the 2 aliens and the Reaper go up for some harass. Gonna try and kill some drones. Get a bit. I think gonna get 1 or 2 drones right now. Gonna go up to the church, deal some damage there. Get surrounded by Speelings though. Speelings do kill aliens and Reapers for breakfast. I mean, that's what I like for lunch. That's what I like for lunch.
Oh, that's your lunch. Okay, cool. So you transition from cornflakes into Hellions and Reapers. I like it.
Yes. But instead of going for what I thought was going to happen, which was Hellion Banshee or Hellion Reven, we're gonna see Stem. We're gonna see a single Medvac and a Viking for a Terran player. Going for what some people call the simpler build, which is you get 1 of each unit and then you try and do something with it.
Yeah, and we're also going to see double Evo chamber go down with not enough gas of upgrades. We're going to see these Hellions go into the mineral line. See how many workers they can kill here. 2 so far, 4. Lings are coming in to clean this up.
The Medvac's not in position to pick up the aliens. The aliens are all going to die. And the Medvac too. I mean, everything gets killed for lightning. This is not a good harass. He's killed 3 drones with these Forelians and the Medvac, and he's lost everything for it, which is really good. And leaves a lot of space for Dreamer to just, you know, pop 10 drones, because holding down the D button is really good for Zerg players. You don't want to let them do it. It just feels great to just hold it.
Almost as good as eating up Hellions and Reapers is just pulling down the drone button.
Yes. So we're gonna see Terran drop production, we're gonna see reactors, barracks, and we're gonna see lots of Lings just, you know...
Oh, and the he's gonna be a slight gap there between the supply depot and the command center.
And there's almost no resupply for Terran. Terran's been literally caught pants down. There's nothing to defend it. All the units are dead, the Lings are just running across, they're gonna kill supplies, they're killing CVs.
It's so important.
So far, it's still going up. Oh, and Lightning thought it was a wall, but it's not a wall. If Lings can go in, it's not a wall. And
it's so important as a Terran that if you do lose those initial Hellions, that you do have your wall so you can protect yourself from these counterattacks. I didn't know what to say. I was like,
feels bad, man. Feels bad, man.
But the Terran is going to be limited to 1 base here.
I mean, this is quite a sad position for a Terran player. Losing the natural base. The Reaper's trying to defend it. The Lings are not going to break through it because there's still quite a lot of Marines, but you know, this is 3 base Zerg with 48 drones against 1 base Terran on 24 SCV, so 23 SCV getting killed. More Lings reinforcing. The only thing Dreamer doesn't have is a way to push through the wall. But right now, the Marines that are going down are just getting killed and slaughtered. This isn't going well for a Terran player. There's a lot of Queens, a lot of Zerglings on the map. Lightning's gonna have to have a solution. He's gonna need to do something really different if he wants to actually get something done. And I'm not sure what's going on the camera right now. We're gonna see this.
Showing off the SC Swarm right there. Super late bailing nest.
The bailing nest. So we're going for a Link Bane Hydra, I guess, for Zerg.
But hero missing here from the Marines and the Medevacs. Gonna try to push it the map and just, I don't know, I guess.
When I said Terran's gonna have to do something miraculous, different to come back, I was thinking either a Tor drop dealing massive damage or not this.
Or not that. No, not that. That's probably
that's
probably not enough. Not like this. He's gonna try and reclaim his second base, but I mean the Queens will probably get themselves probably do this, to be honest.
Yeah, then there's a massive Link flood coming for the natural that's just been taken back. There's still no wall. There's a Liberator across, which is gonna slowly but surely kill. Lings are gonna start working down that wall, and then GG taps on for Lightning. There's way too much units. We were at like about 60 supply advantage for you, in fact, and that was a pretty good game. Solid play all around for both players, but closing that wall was, you know, just a small thing that costs a lot. It cost about 40 CVs.
Those Lings, dude, they're slippery. Those Lings are slippery. You never expect the Lings.
They're so small. They're so small. They can just fit everywhere. There's a small crack in the wall. 25 Lings.
So small and fast.
Supply depot has been lowered. 55 lings in your base. I mean, just Zerg things.
But yeah, I don't really know what to say about that match. You know, it was more just a case of he did the Hellion timing with the Medivacs. It didn't really do, I guess, enough damage. Probably not the damage that the opponent was hoping for. And the Lings on the counter attack after cleaning it up, the Lings managed to creep through and kill the second base.
Because I feel like that was a game of both players trying to go for pretty standard openers. A bit of different unit choices that we're normally expecting for Terran players. That happened from Lightning. But overall, I feel like this could have transitioned into a pretty standard macro game outside of that Link flood.
Outside of that moment, yeah.
Because the worker count were pretty close by for both players. The economy was pretty going well for both players, and then the Lings just flooded. Because if the wall was complete, the Lings could not have got in. There was no bailingness to bust it. Marines could have defended the wall, and then we would have been to a pretty macro game, pretty standard. Which would have been pretty good for both players, but fortunately, things happen sometimes, and that's what you get sometime for not making sure you the wall is good.
You are ice cold, man. That's what you get for not walling properly.
Ice cold with a smile.
Damn, James, Josh.
All right.
We're gonna jump into game
number 6.
The last game is the last game of the set.
Nope, not the last game. This is the last game before there's a 7th map too. This is set number 6, which is the Diamond 1 match. Between between 2 Zerg players and Catalysts. We're gonna start introducing our players, starting in the bottom right for Guns and Roaches. It is Cruel.
The cruelest man on the NA servers.
Except
that's how we got the nickname. That's how we got the nickname.
Yeah. And in the top left, we're gonna have the purple Zerg player for Sc2 Swarm. It is Adenol.
Otherwise known as everybody's dad on the NA servers.
I mean, he's been called Dadenol, Dad, he's had a lot of nicknames. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna see something pretty particular. We already have a gas and a pull down for Cruel. I missed the first 10 seconds. I am not sure which variant exactly it is. If it's 13-12, if it's a 14-14, and observers tell me it's a 14-14. It's one. We're doing maps on stream, we shouldn't. So it's gonna be a 14-14 for Cruel, which is a pretty aggressive opener. It's slightly different from the 13-12, but you're gonna see lots of speed links in the early game. We're probably gonna see some Banes, not sure yet how it's just gonna pan out. First 6 links, first Queen, and the Mulus, and the Metabolic boost. Adenol goes for a safer opener. Instead of the 17-18-17, which is so standard, we're delaying it for a 16-17-16 Ash Gas pool, which goes up a slightly faster rate for defending early aggression. You're losing a drone, which some may argue is not that much. It's still quite a big difference in some games. But you gain a couple time on your pool and your archery. Whenever the archery finishes, actually, you get the armor, which is going to help you defend. And we see Adenol actually sees the links coming across, so he knows what's going on.
He knows what's going on. Yeah, he'll see these, and he'll immediately recognize what kind of builds. There's a lot of lings that are going to go across the map right now. Yeah.
So he's going to start both queens, going to start 6 lings, and he's going to pull drones. Going to start some spine crawlers already.
This is where the dance begins, where you have to, because the scary thing here is that if you lose your second, the game more or less levels out, so to speak.
I mean, the aggressive player really wants to either get the natural end, pull back, and get some drones, or kill the opponent outright. The advantage for Cruel right now is that he has Bailing Nest, which Adenol does not have, and Adenol's gonna have Queens momentarily, so he has the Queens right now. So we're gonna see Lings poke back.
He's gonna have to wall off the ramp. Yeah, he's gonna have to wall off the ramp for those Queens, and that Spine Call is gonna come in so much handy right now. He's gonna wait for, I guess, a critical mass of Lings to try to push down the ramp.
But they are bailing.
Snap those Banes, exactly. The most important thing is that he snaps those Banes without doing too many losses. So his Lings, he actually does. Takes a pretty bad hit there on the Bane, but he still can't push up the ramp though. So these 2 Queens.
And he managed to transfer the Spine Crawler to the natural, which is pretty good, but just the archery is really low, and the Queens, they try and poke out, but the Lings keep threatening to run, just run off the ramp. We're gonna see lots of damage on the Spine Crawler. Spine Crawler getting transfused.
Great
Really clutch. and he kills a lot of lings with this. He's pretty much stabilizing right now. He's getting more queens. He's going up to 4 queens as a spine crawler. He still has a big drone lead. The thing we got to remember right now, it looks really close in Edenol's base. Cruel has no expansion, and he has 5 drones less.
Yeah.
5 drones is not a small thing. We're about like half of his economy down.
Yeah. To have the tech advantage of Banelings, you're hoping for so much more damage there.
So we're gonna see engages between Ling Bane against Lings and Queens on creeps. Everything can go wrong for both players. If the Banes do not connect anything, if they get sniped by Queens,
though, I don't know how
4
you
queens
get
in
through
his
4
spine.
queens, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know how you get through 4 queens.
He may be able to snipe the archery though. If he gets the archery, he may be able to actually, maybe transition. It's quite iffy because there's still more workers in Edenol's main base. The spine crawler is trying to defend. We're still having more queens in production. We're gonna go up to 6 queens soon. Transfusions are gonna stack up. It's gonna be really hard for Cruel to push through.
I love the mentality though, Cruel. Just kind of saying, you know what, I can do this. Just believing in himself and believing that he can break through this. I think it's really important.
I'm not sure if it's more of. I'm not sure if it's him thinking he can break through or him thinking I can't fall back to macro. Although right now we see a single drone in production. This might be the signs of him starting to just breathe and just
transition.
I can't do it. I need to try another game because I feel like he knows it's not optimal, but he knows he has no choice for it, and he's gonna try and macro it.
Gonna kill the Baneling there. That hurts.
Queens are gonna snipe some Banes. There's a lot of things going on right now. Everything can still go at any moment. If Ednol moves too far with the Queens and the Lings just slip by it to the ramp, we may have some big problems for Ednol. If Cruel just sends in Lings and misclicks on a Queen, Banelings on Queens do not do damage. Right now, Edenol sees there is a archery on the way for Cruel at the same time, and he pulls back all the Lings. So Edenol knows that his opponent's trying to transition on it and drops immediately to Roachoran. He knows he has some time to breathe. He can just afford to macro up, get some tech, and get a better army because he knows he's way ahead of his opponent.
That's pretty much the thought process, right? It's like, all right, you know what? You did a hyper-aggressive build. I put all these queens, I put a spine crawler. Now I am safe. I can kick back. I can drone up. I can macro. And I can take up the roaches, even put it down an Evo chamber. And he's basically going to say, you know what, I'm just going to hold out, and eventually I'm going to be able to overwhelm you because my economy is going to be stronger, and my army eventually will be much stronger as well, safe enough to push across the map.
Because he still has the archery advantage for Zerg, which is just production. He has more larvas to work with. He has a lot of queens, which makes him really safe against all kinds of attacks for now. He's ahead in terms of his lair, his +1 attack, his Roach Warren, his economy. He's about 10 drones ahead right now. I mean, it's Edenol's game to lose right now. At this point, he has to make a big mistake if he wants to lose this game.
It's good to see the proactive scouting here, though, by Cruel. He hasn't stopped checking the front, taking a look at what's going on.
He's not giving up. He's not giving up. You can see that.
Yeah, obviously, it's very hard to come back from this position, but one way you do get back in a game is to scout and is to read your opponent and is to try and make adjustments accordingly. Obviously, it's very hard, but it's just one way that you can actually get yourself back into a game.
If he sees like a big weakness, if he sees like a glaring weakness, he could have tried something like, for example, if he just sees like a super fast hive tech, he knows that his opponent's not that far ahead technically because he's been spending a lot in tech. But right now, he sees Roach Warren, he sees there's a lot of units in production, he sees a lot of units. He's gonna draw and try for maybe a one last push. He's got a lot of Lings and Banes. He might be able to break something. Edenol's left the ramp. He's been predicting for the whole game. +1's on the way for Cruel. He might +1 Lings and Banes can do a lot of damage, especially when Roaches are not upgraded yet. Edenol, however, transitioned to some Banes of its own. And some of these, about just 2 to 3 Banes, might just ruin this whole army from Cruel really quickly. Because we're seeing Roaches getting up, we're going to see +1 attack, we're going to see speed Roaches. If these get out in enough numbers, about 10 to 15, I feel like Edenol is just in a cruise control to the win.
There's that critical mass where there's that small window where
he just goes for the attack right now.
He's going for
oh boy, the Baneling hit.
Wow, that was a beautiful connection there.
Baneling hit for about, I think about 15 to 20 Lurglings just died right up from that one Baneling from Edenol.
Like there is that window where if you have enough Lings, you can actually kill the Roaches, but I feel like that window has just passed now.
I feel like Edenol knew this window that you're talking about, and that's why he got a couple Banes. Because if there's Banes, you cannot surround ever the Roaches. And as soon as the Baneling exploded, Cruel went back to his base, trying to, alright, I need to do something else because this is not working. And then Enel promptly react, goes for the push. He knows he has big advantage. Tech, he's got the units, he's got the supply. He's going with quite a good amount of Roaches for that kind of game, with some Bailing support, plus one is finished. We're going to try and see Cruel try to get a big surround on it, because if he doesn't get a surround, this is pretty much dead.
He's just going to hug the wall, though, and not allow it to happen. Sit here.
Gonna hug the wall, is gonna move out with the Banelings. The Banelings are protecting the Roaches from a big surround, which is really doing well for Edino. He's losing a couple to the Spines and the Queens. Snipes off the Queens, goes on. Just pounces for the kill right now. There's a couple of Spines in production. They're not finished yet. The Banelings are getting crazy connections right now.
Amazing connections.
This is just... There's a lot of Roaches.
Pull back.
He gets the corner to the wall. And with the cornering in the wall, he just... reduces the surface area for Lings, kills a lot of drones.
It pulls the drones.
I mean, we're Edinal doubling the supply of his opponent right now. This is pretty deadly right now.
We're split up some Roaches to go into the main as well to put some drones there too.
And there's reinforcements coming up. There's about another 10 Roaches through the natural. Workers are just dwindling for Cruel. It's just insane. We're at 12 drones right now, and GG gets called out.
GG is called, yeah.
And this is a 6th win for C-Swarm right now.
Ice cold Daddy Edino takes out the Cruel.
I mean, this was harsh. I mean, this was really good execution. We saw a really aggressive build by Cruel.
Yep.
Going for the 14-14, which is really dangerous. If you're taken off guard by it, if you don't know how to react to it, it can be deadly. However, Edinal, with the correct build reaction, as soon as he sees there's no hatcheries, I see Lings across the map, goes into... It's like he has a protocol inside of his head, like, all right, these things, I'm gonna react this, do this, and I'm all safe. And then that's what it looked like. It looked pretty much standard for him. It didn't seem to panic.
That was pretty much like a how-to on how to defend like those early Ling aggressions, right? That was almost like an instructional video of just like of the steps that you take. You know, if you know what I mean. Like he went, like you just said, like the protocol activated. He went through the checklist. He was like, okay, I'm going to get the Queens on the ramp. I'm going to sit back with some Lings of my own and some Banes of my own. I'm going to take up the Roaches. I'm going to wait till I hit that critical mass of Roaches.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to hit a strong counterattack, or I guess a strong offensive, basically.
Yeah, it's a counter. I would call it a counter timing too. But what I really like about it is what you're just saying is that he knew his opponent has a lot of Lings, and he knows some Roaches are good. But if you don't have like 40 Roaches or something, Lings can still kill Roaches. So that's why he brought Banelings with the Roaches. Brought about 6 to 7 Banelings just to make sure if you're going to try and surround me, Banelings are still there and you can't do it. And that just puts a lot of pressure on his opponent to just, what am I going to do? I don't have Roaches to counter it. My Banes are not going to do anything. What do I do? And it's really hard to handle with this. And that was really well played.
Yeah, there's no economy behind it either. The Tech Muta, which is a tech path that you can go down. If you're sort of stuck on two bases, it's awkward, but yeah, there was no transition out there. But I still appreciate Cruel trying to find the window, trying to find the way through. You know, he went for +1 attack, which can help, but it just wasn't enough. And now we're gonna jump into Captain Beardy, captain of Sc2.
Yes. For the Masters match, Masters match is actually in best of 3 format. Which is it still counts for 1 set, but it's 3 maps for both players, for the team. The Masters player, each of them, there is a single map pick for the first map, and then if I remember correctly, there were vetoes for next maps, and then the loser picks map, and then loser picks maps again if there's a third map. So we are starting on Redshift, and we're gonna be jumping into game any moment now. Between our 2 Zerg players on Redshift.
Yeah, we're gonna see Beardy. People think he has a beard. He doesn't. Beardy, captain of Sc2. Always deceptive.
So, it is Beardy on the bottom left for Sc2. We're doing already an extractor trick.
An extractor trick as well.
We're getting something different, yeah. And yes, go for it.
Do you want to take this one? No.
Alright, okay. In the top left for Guns and Roaches, Masters player, it is Fahrenheit.
I was gonna say just keep going, and that way Beardy would just keep having to spin the camera around and around.
All right. So Beauty goes for a fifth. I mean, we're gonna talk about build already.
Gold base. I love it.
Yes.
Gold
We're
base.
gonna see both players.
The opponent takes the gold base too. I love it.
I'm gonna delve into a bit of analysis right there. Having played a lot of Redshift maps lately, we see two different builds right now, even though they look similar. Beardy go in for a 50 notch, where you extract or trick a drone and then you get a nutchery on the gold base into an overlord. Normally when you see 50 notch, it's into aggressive build and you're gonna get gas and pull before overlord. Go in for the overlord right afterwards and then droning up again. It looks like a standard 17 notch, except you get the nutchery faster. The reason you do this is because golden minerals are pretty good.
Gold there, yeah, pretty good.
Whereas his opponent, Fahrenheit, go in for a pretty standard 17, 18, 17 on the map. Deciding to go for the gold base, as you said. So both players go in for the gold base. Looks pretty even. The difference is that Fahrenheit has a bit more of a drone lead early on, but Beardy has the gold minerals faster. And we're going to see his income skyrocket in the upcoming seconds, transferring 12 drones already to the gold base. And the income is just, he's just shifting right through his opponent already. Going up to 1,000 minerals. And his opponent decides to just transfer his drones to all-2 because why not? But he's, a bit of a slip up on the micro. Because they had some blue minerals, so they're trying to go back to their base. But yeah, both players are going to transition to it. And Beardy with something special already. We're going to see him pull a drone to the other side of the gold base and get his spine crawler.
Brilliant.
The spine crawler... The spine crawler is going to be something really special. It serves two purposes. One, it defends your base against aggression. And you can also use it to... You can walk it up to the other player gold base and just deal damage because there's creep just outside of it. You can just plant it there and deal damage. We're going to see, although some lings from Fahrenheit crossing the map. 4 lings, nothing too scary or special. Just going to try and poke up, deal some damage, make sure there's no third base there, and nope, no fast hatchery there.
Yeah.
And both players go in for a bailing nest, pretty standard mid-game transition. We're going to see a third base for Beardy. We're going to see a third base for Fahrenheit. Both players are going pretty mirrored. There's slight variance and differences in the build, but
I
nothing
major. I almost want to say that Beardy has a bit more of a grasp on this map, though. You know, just putting the spine crawler down.
These are small things.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that he pulled the drones, he immediately knew the plan with that. You know, we saw the not the micro era, but I guess the rally point era almost, where the drones got there, but they were sent there too early. You can definitely tell that he spent quite a lot of time refining this build.
Yes. Would say this, although this might be an overstep.
This is very greedy. This is very greedy. Yeah.
The plan itself is good, moving the spine crawler to the side as I was talking about before, but he went maybe a bit too early. He didn't have his own lings and banes to defend. Oh, the banes explode, getting a good connection.
Yeah.
Because he was going a bit too early. It might have fired him in the back, but he managed to defend it before the spine dies, and then he managed to spline the spine. I was gonna see if he can defend it. If he can defend it, this can be a lot of damage to the gold base. If he stops his opponent from mining to the gold base, this is bad for Fahrenheit. But the spine crawler goes down to lings. Bane connects, just totally whiffs.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Beardy slightly pull back right now. He's down in supply, down in worker.
It's such a shame, you know, because if he just kind of delayed that by like a few seconds, waited for his army to get there to sort of escort it, it wouldn't have taken that much damage. It would have been much.
And now we're gonna see. Oh, we're gonna see a link bane fight. Where everything can go wrong and everything can go right for both players. Lings, bane, ling, banes. For people who don't play Zerg, this is super fun and stressful. We're just hoping your bane don't suicide to one link, and that your banes don't just trade like either go in. Dodges one of them. The banes are just running around. They're both. This is really tense right now. Both players are running around with lings. The goal is to protect your lings with your. This is looking good right now. We're gonna see a big lead right now for Fahrenheit to get the initiative. Good bane connection though for Beardy right now, which might actually be able to defend the base. Both players are not sure who's got the lead right now. Both players looking into at each other like, how many rings do you have? I have about 20. How much do you have? About 20. And then they both go back to their base.
And this is where the big decision comes in with ZVZ, is when does the link bane will end? And we actually see Fahrenheit make the decision to transition to Roaches. He's made the Roach war in that,
He knows he has initiative right now. He's shoving out Beardy. He knows he's doing damage. He knows he doesn't see any drones on the third base. He's feeling pretty confident right now to just transition out of it. Both players trading their Banes, trying to fight with the Lings. Beauty fighting in the choke. This is a good solution if you know you are behind in Ling count, because the fight is gonna stall. You're gonna trade Lings for Lings, and you're not gonna be overwhelmed by the number of Lings, because if there's more Lings, you're just gonna get surrounded. Loses the hatchery. This is really bad for him though.
Yeah, that hurts losing that hatch there.
But I feel like we missed something, because I feel like Beardy already transitioned to Roaches. We're gonna see some Roaches already popping up.
Yeah, I'm not sure when that Roach Warren went down. There you go. Somewhere through all the mayhem, he found the time to put down the Roach Warren.
Yep, and we're gonna see his opponent Fire Knight trying to just pull up some Lings in front. Still lining from the gold base for both players. However, I think Fire Knight from the mid he pulled off 6 drones from the gold base back to his other bases, and he's going for upgrades. Pulling back these Lings from the gold base. Oh, we're gonna talk about this later because there's more Lings to the third base. Cancel the third base again. This is really.
Look, yeah, this is quite up and down. He's gonna have a lava advantage. He's gonna have a massive advantage here. You know, Ace is so important in ZVZ in terms of macro. Obviously, you see Beardy banking so many minerals, and you just can't help but think that if that third hatch was up, you know, that
these would have been larva spent. Oh god.
Exactly.
The Banes. Oof. These weren't too great, but not too bad. That's a lot of Banes for Beardy. Trying to get some really good. If he can get the magical connection and break through to outside of his base, that might be good. Getting some Lings down, this is pretty good. He's allowed to drone up back a bit. He had 1k mineral right now, he still has some. And then the gold base is starting to open up. What I was trying to talk about earlier is that his opponent pulled off 6 from the gold base. And these 6 drones, now he put him back on. The gold minerals mine out rather quickly compared to blue minerals, which makes it so that if you open it up by mining it too much, you're gonna have either a reinforcement path or an attack path for your opponent right off open.
It's a balancing act between taking advantage of the gold base and then also recognizing that you're going to expose yourself.
You expose yourself, but you also open yourself to easier reinforcement when you attack. So there's pros and cons to both of it. Beardy has already opens up his gold minerals and can reinforce directly to it, whereas his opponent still hasn't finished mining out. And we're going to see some fighting around the watchtower right now. Both players with their armies there. Beardy is totally open with it. And there's gonna be a lot of Lings and a lot of Roaches, but the Bane flanks might be good, some good connection on the Lings missed. Oh god, that's a lot of Banes for both players. I'm not sure where it's gonna end up. Both Banes are all dead. We're gonna try and see the Lings come in with the Queens and the Roaches. We're gonna try and see, this fight might be really close for both players. Supply is say Paradise ahead, but I'm not sure how this is gonna pan out. Reinforcements are pretty close for Beardy, which allows him to reinforce, maybe just get a couple more Roaches. It looks like he's may falter. Might just be too close.
It's like on a knife, they just put the transfuses though, but it's not really...
There's no more, there's no energy for it. There's just enough Roaches to actually defend it.
With reinforcements, yeah.
Just enough, barely enough to hold. But he's lost some worker right now. He's 12 workers down for the moment. And all he asks for a lead right now is that he's got a quicker reinforcement path for his unit through the gold base. But that's about it. He's got to use positioning, he's got to use clever tactics. Because he's down in numbers, and he's down in brute force, and that's not a good way to just open up a Roach fight, because Roach fights are pretty much brute force against brute force.
Yeah, well, but although concave, if he gets a good concave here, I mean, they're fighting on open ground.
Oh, and Beardy also took the fight. This is a small thing. He took the fight exactly as his +1 was finishing up, whereas the opponent's not even finished yet, and this is getting a lot of advantage for Beardy. The gold mineral opens up for Fahrenheit, and now he can reinforce right through there. The choke that it creates allows him to have a good defensive position, especially with the spine crawler. But yeah, Beardy taking advantage of the +1, like about 10 seconds of the +1 fight against +0, and the Roach did a lot of damage with that. And now he's gonna get some drone damage, gonna pick up some Roaches. Beardy's clawing his way back into the game. He's still down in supply, but he's taking the position back. He's got some Ravagers.
Yeah, he picked up the spine crawler. Having a spine crawler down would have, at the start of this fight, would have helped so much, but he lifted it up and repositioned it, so I guess he could get a better concave with his Roaches.
And there's only 1 Ravagers, but the Biles keep hitting. He's hit a lot of Roaches with it. And Beardy is actually coming back in the army supply right now. He killed the spine crawler
too. Yep.
This is really close for both players. We're gonna see him. It's just 40 to 41 supply, 56 to 60. We're talking about literally small differences. As we can see from the income tab, it's still quite close. It bounces up back and forth depending on if the gold drones are mining or not, which base they're mining on. Both players on +1. But the thing,
+2 here.
+2's on the way for Beardy.
+2, exactly.
And Fahrenheit's not even started, so Beardy's gotta hold on until the +2 finishes. If he can get that and just have a good fight. Right now, Biles are down. It's Queen's Roaches against
The
Roach
Queens with the
Ravager.
transfusions are gonna help so much though.
I mean, the idea of pulling up the lanes for Fahrenheit is really good too. Elves tank up the Roaches while not taking too much damage on his Roaches. Beardy's splitting up his army into 2 packs to get an easier concave, and hitting the Biles in time, forcing the reposition. Every time you move your Roaches to dodge Biles, you're not hitting your opponent.
Oh, it's a very good concave there for Beardy.
The concave is pretty good, yes. He's getting some really good trades. The time I was talking about buying, he's buying it right now, and buying it really cheap right now. He's probably gonna get some fights. Probably gonna get some really good trades. What I'm trying to just
quite good, but I think he's trying to bust his way through the middle there.
But that's not a good call. It's right in the middle of the concave, taking a lot of damage.
Biles is strong, and the reinforcements as well.
There's this plant color that's gonna get shut down.
That's the finish as well.
We're gonna have +5. This is a nailed biter.
Yeah.
And he does it!
And he does it! Woo. Wow.
That was a really close one. Whew. I mean, this could have gone either way. Beardy with a +1 advantage at the beginning, getting him just a small edge into the fight, allowing him to come back from the early deficit he had from losing his third base multiple times. And later on, the use of Ravagers, the Ravagers did a lot of work in this game. Just allowing to get these spine crawlers down, to get some time up for his Roaches to come back. And I feel like what you mentioned about earlier, with Beardy's knowledge of the map itself and his practice on it, using the goal base as a reinforcement path to go through to his opponents to the fight itself, it looked really bad at the beginning because it allowed his opponent to actually get into his gold base and deal damage. If you look at it the other way, even if the gold minerals are there, the Roaches can just stick on the other side and deal damage to our drones, and you're gonna get the same amount of damage. You can't win if the gold minerals are there, but doing damage in ZVZ, if you just take 5 drones extra, is the same as winning, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you get to Roach phase. Roach phase is a lot less explosive, literally, than Bailing Ling. Because if you go into Roach phase, it's literally Roach count, upgrade count. There's no like one single Bailing connection that's gonna pull you back into the game.
Well, you even saw when he tried to push in, and the reinforcements of Beardy were just able to hold on. And it almost felt like Fahrenheit was saying, you know, I've only got a certain amount of time here to sort of break him. I guess maybe maybe through game sense he might have recognized that. It was a very interesting decision. The way he overcommitted, he might have thought, you know, I've got so many queens here with the transfuse, I can keep my Roaches alive. But the +2 finishing with the Ravagers, with like you meant, you know, with the game sense that Beardy have in terms of the map, the concaves that he was setting up, the way he was splitting his Roaches too, like preemptively.
And he knew what he had to do.
Yeah.
He knew what to do. He knew he had to survive until +1. +1 got him a lot of advantage. And then when he was going for +2, if he could just hold on a little longer, get some damage with the Ravagers and stuff, that was just what happened in the game. And it pulled him through. I mean, there was really a nail biter. It could have gone either way for both. Like, just a single mistake, a single move command could have just lost the game for either player.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey. Like, that was awesome. This is about as good as a mirror matchup can get, honestly, in terms of trading blows evenly and just trying to find the extra 1% that you really need in a mirror matchup in order to win.
Yeah, but you know what's even better than this mirror matchup? It's a best of 3, so we're gonna get a second map of it.
We're gonna get another mirror matchup. Awesome.
And we're gonna get both our players again into the game. We're gonna be ready to jump in Dreamcatcher for a second game. Map picked by Fahrenheit. So we're gonna get both red players in again for the match point for Beardy. Might be a whole clean sweep for SC Swarm right now. So in the top left for SC Swarm, captain and on the verge of a 8-0 match series. Is it really him? I mean, he's still turning, so I'm not too sure. It is Beardy.
Wow, you built that up so well. There was so much suspense with that. That was.
And in the bottom right.
Bottom right. It is the one, the only Fahrenheit. Do you reckon his name is like Farron and he's tall, so he said height, or do you reckon it's like an actual temperature thing? Oh, he's Aussie as well! Bottom left. Oh no, Beardy with dad jokes. I don't know about that one.
I think he mentioned you were Aussie, but yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna.
There's gold bases on this map, dude. You reckon we're gonna see some
There are gold
gold base
bases,
shenanigans?
but they're gold bases as in a more traditional way. They're not gold bases in Redshift where you can take them as your natural.
Yeah.
They're not pocket bases. They're literally super exposed, dangerous gold base that are neutral in terms of in the middle of the map. Any player can just go and take the gold bases if they want. However, I mean, we're not gonna see any gold base for now. We're just gonna see edge gas pool for both players. Nothing special for now.
I love it. I like the mutual respect between the two players to kind of say, hey, you know what? Last game was so close. Let's try it again. You know, obviously they didn't tell each other which build they were going to go to.
No.
But I like the idea that they're both kind of saying, let's have another go at that.
We haven't seen any like super cheesy 13-12 or 12 pool. Let's both misplace our pool. I mean, oh god, this is. Look, this is something I don't even look up normally in replays because I assume people are good at placing their pool. But I mean, as we can see, Fahrenheit's pool is slightly misplaced. Yes, it is. And what about Beardy's pool? Oh my god, you both placed it in the same way.
Wow. Did you guys coordinate this? This is amazing.
This is...
Can it get any more even than this? I don't know. I mean,
this is funny. I mean, alright. So both players are going to just go for standard queens. We're going to see some lings. For Beardy, well, we're going to see some drones for Fahrenheit. Slight variance,
a bit of a deviation there. Yeah, a bit of a deviation there from the mirror. I was really hoping we would just see a complete copycat from the two of them the whole way through. As he runs across the Chobo Team League logo. We are, of course, in the 16th edition. The 16th edition of the Chobo Team League, which is just awesome. Wait, was that 16th or 21st?
19th.
29th. 19th. Okay, 19th.
29. So we're going to see some ling engages in the middle of the map.
Never did math live.
We're going to see some lings in the middle of the map just poking back and forth. Both players trying to just see what's going on.
These bushes are so scary in ZVZ. Obviously not now because banelings aren't going to be up, but eventually.
But bane nets are up.
Just about to be finished. Yeah, it's going to get quite nerve-wracking now.
Right now we're going to see Fahrenheit trying to deny Beardy's third base. Lings are just fighting. There's still no ling speed for both players. This is pretty close to the fight.
I find it quite interesting though that Fahrenheit went for drones and yet he's still the person with the initiative on the other side of the map right now.
I mean, this is really
important. I think it's really important there for Fahrenheit right now. The fact that he built those extra drones instead of lings, he needs to maintain his pressure and he's going to see Beardy with these lings now, which means that he's going to be able to reinforce at home. Definitely on the front foot, Fahrenheit right now, definitely ahead in the games.
I mean, both players are going to get their turn actually finished. There's not going to be any cancel, not going to be killed or forced down. But as you said, Fahrenheit's still with a 5 worker lead right now, which can scale up. If he keeps the pressure on for a while, like he's doing right now, running around the lings and the banes, the longer he gets these 5 worker leads to work, the more money this is going to be for him. Beardy is lighting up a couple drones here and there, and we're going to see some banes detonating into some banes. And the banelings against 2 for 3 and then the other one on the bags. This is really good for Beardy right now.
To the cocoons, yeah, that always hurts.
Fahrenheit,
the cocoons like that.
1 bane literally went for nothing, and 2 banes Beardy traded for 3 banes of Fahrenheit. Because banes 2-shot each other. If you send 2 banes, they can kill any amount of banes if they're close enough. So we're just gonna see both players trying to just macro up right now. They're both going up for lings, banes. We're gonna see the Roach Warren first for Fahrenheit. Trying to transition out of it. I think he sees Beard is a worthy opponent for it, and he's not too sure, but he's gonna go for a run by. He's gonna try and get some damage done. Banes are coming through. We're gonna see some explosions. We're gonna see getting them sniped. 2 queens are good enough to snipe Banes really easily, and all 3 Banes just go up for nothing.
Yeah, and now with the game will more or less stabilize. Fahrenheit's not gonna be able to do any damage simultaneously. Beardy's not gonna really be able to do much counter damage either. They're both gonna try to pull up, both go for Roach Warren. Beardy opting to go for upgrades. I think I also saw Fahrenheit put a Evo chamber down earlier as well. Might have finished. I don't think so though, unless I imagined it. But yeah, both players taking their guesses. And the lair. Okay, so instead of going for the Evo chamber, Fahrenheit's instead opted for the lair. You opting to use his gas for that instead of an upgrade.
So that means it's going to be a faster speed for Fahrenheit, where Beardy is going to have a faster +1 attack. With the difference between Lair and Evo Chamber. Lair is going to be on the way for Beardy though, so he shouldn't be too far off. Maybe about 25 seconds, 30 seconds on the Roach speed, but he's still quite ahead because there's still no Evo Chamber on the way for Fahrenheit. So +1 ranged attack can do a lot of damage. If you have speed for Roaches, the advantage for that is that you can really reinforce. You can decide when you want to fight. If you have a good fight, you have more Roaches, you can go in. If you have less Roaches, you can just pull off disengage because they're the same unit, but you have more speed. So you can just literally pick your fights. Really gonna try and go for some run bys with the Lings. Gonna try and get as much information as he can. He's gonna see everything. He's gonna see the whole base. He's gonna see some drones. He's gonna see drone counts. He knows what's going on. This is really good.
He's gonna see like an Evo chamber, so he's gonna know. He's also gonna understand that he's gonna have an upgraded advantage. There's gonna be a window where he's gonna have an upgrade advantage, as only now is Fahrenheit putting down his Evo chamber, looking to get that either Carapace or +1 range.
And another thing, I was mentioning that Fahrenheit could have a window where he had roach speed, where Beardy did not. However, he did not get it yet. He's getting Roaches right now, and Beardy gets the first roach speed though. Beardy's gonna have a window for both upgrades to be first over his opponent, which is pretty.
There was a lost opportunity there for Fahrenheit to have a tech advantage.
Yes.
But then again, that I think what might have happened was with that Ling run by, it might have possibly gone into his head. It might have been a bit paranoid. Might have thought, oh, is there a big timing attack coming here?
And now so he just gets both upgrade. +1 attack might be 1 to 2 minutes late, whereas roach speed might be about 20 to 30 seconds late. But that means Beardy's gonna have both windows up for him, and this is gonna be really dangerous.
He's also got 63 workers, which is quite a lot as EVZ on 3 bases.
Yes.
Especially
when you know your opponent's going for a lot of Roaches and his upgrades are up. +1 attack's finished for Beardy, and the opponent's gonna go straight up to Hydra then. I will be honest, this might be way too risky of a move. This is really dangerous.
I think he's gonna have a gas to afford that, to afford enough Roaches to defend whilst also building up to Hydra.
And this might just be.
It does explain the droning though. It does explain why he would have droned up so much. He must have thought, okay, you know what, I can hold off.
Because we're gonna see Beardy trying to move out with the Roaches right now. He knows he has the advantage. He knows he has +1. He's got speed. His opponent has no speed and no +1, but he's got numbers in his base though, because he has reinforcements. Beardy's gonna try and take some poke. Gonna kill a couple Roaches, pull back, kill some Roach, pull back. Going for his Hydra too. Hydra then, where his opponent's already going for Lurkers. That's what I was thinking. Hydras were just a stepping stone towards it. We're gonna start getting his upgrades too, but it's mostly for Lurkers. Beardy having the raw brute force for the Roaches, he just needs the number right now. He's ahead in worker, he's ahead in upgrades. All he needs is to get a massive number of Roaches and push through the map, or try and pick up to Lurkers too. We're gonna see both players trying to get to Lurkers.
But dude, this Roach count is quite scary though. Like that is a lot of Roaches right there.
Beardy's playing a lot of money right now. He's producing Roaches. I think he's either missing Larvas, but I mean this fight is going pretty close both ways. However, +1 still not finished for Fahrenheit. This upgrade might make it closer than what it should have been. Because I mean he had a way bigger number, and the fight's still pretty close right now. He's gonna win it, but not by that much. Well, we're gonna see some Roach run bys for Beardy. We're gonna see fights all across the map on the third base of both players right now. Third base for Fahrenheit, fourth base for Beardy. Beardy's fourth base seems to have been lost. We're gonna see lots of Roaches in reinforcement though. He's gonna put us a lot, but he's still 40 supplies down for Army, which isn't that great for now. We're gonna see him, Fahrenheit trying to push up. He cleared the attack on his base. Gonna get lots of damage through. Beardy's army is getting really diminished right now.
Yeah, I think it's quite. I guess the decision there to delay his upgrades and instead go for Roaches ended up paying off here. We talked about earlier how he was going to have the speed window to if he was to go down that route, but instead opting to build Roaches instead. And we're now seeing that choice to go for a more macro style lead to winning the game.
And Fahrenheit takes the game. This was a really close game. Came down to technical details.
Exactly.
We've been talking lately. We've been talking about upgrade timings, which Beardy got the upgrade timing again this game. However, it didn't get that big of a window, and even if you have the upgrade lead, numbers also count. 10 Roaches with +1 are better than 10 Roaches with 0 upgrade. But are they better than 25 Roaches?
Exactly, which is what we saw where, and that comes down to the minor details in ZVZ and understanding, like we said earlier, about getting the extra percent. Where can you just eke out those little wins? And just then we saw that where opting instead to go for a bigger Roach army and delaying the upgrades so that he could take advantage of that Roach army number.
Because I feel like Beardy could have also done good. He was pulling a lot of money in the mid game. I'm not sure if his production was off, if his injects were off. If he had spent all that money in Roaches, he may have gotten a close maybe have been able to transition to his +2 because he had a +2 way faster than his opponent. But it was pretty close, and his opponent really took advantage of the timing he had with like a lot of roaches and some hyperlists. That was pretty good.
There was a tiny window there, and it was amazing to read that. This game 3, I don't know what a close series between these two, man.
I mean, like SC Storm has been taking a big lead. Right now it's 6-0. However, this last series, Fahrenheit's really he really doesn't want his team to just go down with a sweep. He really wants to make his team have a mark on the map. So he's gotten his mark on his BO tree. Now it's just to see if he can have his team on the board, which is going to be really the question for now.
And we see the Beardy is apparently up 2-1.
We've had some technical issues, but I think we're all set for next game. We're just going to try and look up for a second. Shouldn't be too long. All right. We're going to be jumping into game number 3, final game for this series for CTL Week 1 for Sc2 Storm versus Guns and Roaches. Jumping into Acid Plant for the final game of the night. All right.
Sound effects. All right, here we go.
All right. In the top left, we're going to have Twirly Swirly, the yellow Zerg for Guns and Roaches. It is Fahrenheit.
I feel like we've progressively gotten better. I'm going to say we've gotten better at these intros as the cast has gone on.
I'm a professional caster.
In the bottom right, it is, wow. You...
It is Beardy.
the expert observer, also the coach of SC Swarm. Great website for those of you out there that want to learn about Zerg. I highly recommend it.
Renault's not too sure what's going on. Beardy is also he's the captain. He's helping a lot of people with coaching, and he's also doing the observing and production for this side of stream.
Yeah, so massive thank you to Beardy for committing the time.
Pretty well,
yeah.
Yep. All right, so we're going to be jumping into the final game for tonight, with both players going pretty standard again.
I love it. We're going Hatchcast pool again. I love it.
Just no 13-12, no 13, and this time good pool positioning. Good, guys.
Yeah, they've
nailed it.
They've got it. That's the thing I'm happiest to see, to be honest. All things considered, it's just the pool position.
We've had some really good, and is this a super early third base that we're gonna see? Beardy is trying to show something that he's been doing, but I'm not sure what's going on.
I think he's just showing the overload passing. Yeah, I think he's showing the overload passing there to show the overload was coming.
Okay.
See the third, but so far it's going down the same as the last game. It'd be interesting to see who gets the initiative first. You know, we saw last game Fahrenheit got the initiative with his slings, which meant that he was able to drone behind it, got a slight economic advantage from that, which allowed him to get a bit more tempo in the game. So it'll be interesting to see who takes the initiative here in this match. Both players.
There's two things, I think. There's initiative and there's deviations. And as of right now, there's no deviation. We have 100% copy-pasted builds. Both players going 6 slings, 2 queens, 2 drones, and 1 drone for Fahrenheit and 2 links for Beardy. We're gonna have a small difference right now. Beardy with a little bit more army and a little less drone. This is not major. It's still a lead for Fahrenheit, I think.
What are you talking about, man? That 1 drone and that one pair of links is gonna change the whole match.
I mean, it could. Technically, it could. But we have our first big difference right now. We have a Bailing Nest at 30 supply, and we have a Hatchery at 30 supply. Literally reverse order. Beardy going for the Bailing Nest right afterwards, whereas Fahrenheit goes for the Hatchery right after. And as you said, initiative plays a big role in ZVZ, and Fahrenheit taking the initiative again goes up with the links to try and harass the third base already. Where Beardy also, this is getting spicy right now. We're gonna get links on both sides for Beardy.
Beardy's opted to, rather than going, I think in the last game he defended, he stayed back and defended, right? Whereas in this game he's just like, you know what, no, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna defend with queens. He understands. Basically, the way I see it is that he's adapted his game plan here. He recognizes the Fahrenheit's plan is not to end the game with those initial links. It's instead to drone behind it. But Fahrenheit in this game has actually made another deviation from the previous build, and rather than droning, he's instead going for more links and bane. So Beardy's made the correct call to stay on the aggression here, but Fahrenheit's made a good read on that, instead of going for drones like the previous game and going for lings instead. So quite a lot of mind games going on between the two players right here.
Because this is really good. Beardy's going for some run back and snipe the queen. And snipe the queen, force the drones to be pulled off. This is a lot of mining time. This is lots of mining time. Beardy is getting a lot of advantage for this.
He's even going to get away with those links too. That is amazing.
What Fahrenheit has right now is banelings. He has more baneling than Beardy, and he's got quite a lot of them. Beardy has a third base up and running right now already. This is way more production, especially in link bane phase. You can afford to build a lot of link banes for just with little drone count. Beardy with a lot of queens is gonna be able to just poke out, defend, and take his position. Maybe try and get some drones back up. But yeah, like you said, Beardy adapting, and we're gonna see another links trying to get the third base. Beardy's gonna try and defend it. There's gonna be banes up to front and the ramp. Trying to surround, but the queens are there to snipe him.
The queens are there.
There's a lot of banes for Beardy right now. Beardy's taking his position and he's holding it.
We're basically seeing the inverse of the last game, where this time Beardy is going to have the drone advantage, and so I'm really interested to see what he does to take advantage of this situation, you know. Last game it was Fahrenheit with the drone advantage, leading to the Roach production and eventually the overwhelming army. Beardy this time opting to drone with his drone advantage, going for... We're basically seeing the builds flipped here, although again Beardy's going for the faster lair.
But this is a really fast lair into Roach Warren, where we see Roach Warren, Evo Chamber lair for Fahrenheit. Beardy has a quite significant worker lead and still has an army lead with all this. The economy that we were talking about, getting a small economic lead early on does snowball in ZVZ. Because you can produce the same amount of units as your opponent, but then every single money that those 2 drones mine can be reinvested into more drones. And then those 2 drones become 6 drones, and then 8 drones, and then right now we're at 14 drones.
14 drones, exactly.
Which is a massive difference. Number keeps moving back and forth because Zerg macro is really organic and just constantly evolving. But we're at about a 30% increase in income when you compare Beardy to his opponent, which is going pretty good. We're gonna see the Evo Chamber in the Roach Warren. Is that a second Evo Chamber? Or is that the first Evo Chamber? I am not sure. We're gonna see lots of things. We're gonna transition.
No, that would be the first. That would be the first Evo Chamber.
That's interesting.
Beardy opted for lair, Roach Warren, Evo Chamber.
Yes, and we're gonna Beardy keeping some defensive banes in case. Really good move, and these banes are crazy good detonations. Roaches are gonna be able to defend what's left. This is pretty much a well-defended run by Beardy. Fahrenheit's gonna need to pull some tricks up his sleeve because right now they're both on the same tech. Beardy has an economic lead. He's got a huge army lead.
Yeah, I also see Beardy's also planning for his future with the banking of the minerals there.
Yeah. But right now, Fahrenheit, he went, like I said, he had to go for something, and what he decided to do is try and get a lot of drones and hope it goes unnoticed. He got up to 54 drones against Beardy, which is quite a lot considering he knows he's down in army and he knows he's down in tech. Not down in tech, he's quite ahead in tech, never mind, I'm mixing up colors and players. He's super far ahead in tech right now. He's timing.
Oh, it's a good defensive bane there. Barely not getting the connection that he needed though. I think these things are just going to scout. They're going to see everything's going on. He's going to recognize the +1 attack and also the Roach speed is on the way. The lair is finished. There's gases, more gases. We're going to just transition into Roach, and basically we're going to see a repeat of the last match, more or less. But once again, Fahrenheit's been able to get a drone advantage. So really good play on his end. To be proactive in that sense. It'd be interesting to see if he goes up to 66. I think he got last game. It'd be interesting to see if he goes up to that many again. I don't think he will. But he is supply block though. That is painful.
Yes.
Making 7 overlords.
Although right now there's a big issue right now for Beardy. Even though he looked to be ahead, right now his Roaches do not have +1 and just finished Speed. Speed was not finished for some time and he got chased out and lost a couple of Roaches to it. But when he has +1 attack, speed done, he can retreat safely until his +1 attack's finished. And he gets some Ravagers up. This is a good way to spend your extra gas when you're playing on ZVZ with Roaches. And that's quite a lot of Ravagers though.
Yeah, that is a lot of Ravagers. That's a big committal to Ravagers there. He needs to make sure he does damage with this. Otherwise, that is a very, very serious gas investment.
This is lots of gas, and this gas could have been gone toward tech, toward upgrade. His opponent's starting +2. I think Beardy's going to try and finish it on his +1. He knows his opponent's ahead on upgrade. He doesn't want to fight on
It's all about the concave here.
Or the biles. If there's an unlucky biles for Fahrenheit, he may lose. Right now he's got a reinforcement advantage. He's got the reinforcement. He's closer to his base. Beardy's going to try and slide into his base. Gonna drop some biles first.
He's going to try to step in the probably natural, but he can't. He's back and forth.
Firehead pushing right through though. Firehead being really aggressive, but he's been really pushy with his Roaches in the whole series.
Oh, this is so tense.
There's Roaches everywhere. Both players are trying to reinforce. Only Beardy's starting his +2 right now. He's still about 20 seconds late. Some biles hit. Beardy's starting to get a small lead. He's surrounded.
He's going to have the finish advantage here with the reinforcements coming in with the Roaches. But the
This is
Ravagers
so close.
committing to the Ravagers though seems to have paid off. Carissa's biles doing so much damage to the opponent's Ravagers, to the opponent's Roaches. But he is going to have to pull off because of the defending. Oh, it's so close though. It's on a message right now.
And then Beardy's reinforcements are starting to come by, and
Exactly.
he managed to do it. What Beardy did, which was really smart in this fight, is he pushed the fight. He was being surrounded on most flanks, about by 3 ways, and he just decided to push one side on the left and just force it through, so he could at least retreat with his Roaches without taking too much damage. Because if you retreat through the enemy Roach, you're just going to lose so much of him. By then forcing the fight through the left and killing all of his opponent's Roach there, he managed to just force it hold there and leave without taking too much damage on his army.
Yeah.
So this is at least good. Right now,
+2 is going to finish there for +2 is going to finish there for Fahrenheit.
yes, but
So-
Beardy has a lot of army. He's got a 4 base, got a 8 worker lead. This is looking pretty good for Beardy. He's got a lot of Ravagers. His opponent's still trying to tech up, and I think this is where Fahrenheit might be overstepping his bound from the last time. Because, I mean, going for the Hydrolith then, going for +1 Carapace, I'm not sure I agree, because this is a lot of a gas investment that Beardy's been spending on Ravagers. And if he can survive, Fahrenheit will be in a really good position, gonna take advantage. But will he actually survive this push?
He's going to try to catch the Roaches of guard and get the 3rd base. It's so hard to tell.
Those biles are really dangerous. There's a lot of units. The bigger the fights get, the more biles are good. And there's a lot of army for Beardy. There's +1 against +1. There's a small upgrade lead for Fahrenheit though. But Beardy with the sandwich. The reinforcements coming right behind him. There's a lot of army everywhere. The fight is really split. It's really close.
This is just
like
like,
prickling and reinforcements. There's
we can see the supply lead there. He's doubled it. He's done it.
Beardy
has
takes
taken-
it.
It goes 7-0 for SC Swarm. The captain takes it home in a nail-biting series. Shout out to Fahrenheit for that beautiful play.
This was a really good series for both players.
I don't know, just amazing decisions on both ends, trying to find the extra percent.
Because this is really what we talk about as easy. It's really a close lane-bane fight, and then followed by a really tense. Both players are trying to get one more drone to make sure they survive, and then have more drones, but have like enough Roaches to survive, and then get enough Roaches to punch or hold through. Get your upgrades timing. We saw there's all kinds of ways to go through. Because if you go for more upgrades, you can push through.
Well, I guess that was the case. Yeah, exactly. We're going for upgrades and then working in the player's advantage. But it was close.
I mean, upgrades can win you games. Upgrades can lose you games. It really depends on how the game goes. But it was a really close series altogether. And GG to both teams. It's been a great series, but overall, it's still finished as a 7-0 for now.
I have to say, we started off with the Cyclone push. With Ve Victus against Christ, I can't think of the player's name now.
Names are good.
Yeah, names are great. Sorry, but and we
against Cornflake. Yeah, we were talking about breakfast.
Cornflake.
That's what.
About breakfast, against Cornflake there, and we ended there with macro play as well. We got to see every side of spectrum, and I think that's the beauty of a team league. Of a multi-series.
Yeah, because it was fun just seeing people from Gold League up to Diamond and Masters player, and you see all kinds of different level of play, and it's really fun to just. There's all kind of tactics and stuff, and it's really fun to just see it being played out like this.
Yeah, the different decision making, and also just the team coordination. The research from both players, trying to see where can they eke out those advantages. Congratulations to both teams.
GG's to everyone from Guns and Roaches and SC Swarm. Yeah, it was a really fun series.
Oh, great series. I love the Redshift one though. Was probably my favorite. With the
Redshift is a really fun map. I mean, people hate Redshift, but once you get to learn and play on it, it's a really fun and different map, especially for the ZVZ matchup. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for tonight's stream. We're gonna be closing it up right now and wrapping it up. There's gonna be more casts following either this week and the following weeks for CTL. We're going to be trying to get some casts for the replays about the last week's match for CTL. And we're gonna try and catch up the other weeks that we missed, which is week 2 and 3 for CTO. There's also gonna be different kind of events like the Clan Wars, different tournaments, and all kinds of streams are gonna be coming up your way for StarCraft for SC2. So
I'm so excited for this next chapter.
Any ending words you wanted to say all to everyone?
It was just a pleasure. Thank you everyone that was tuning in. Thank you Jada Shard for being co-caster. Also thank you to Beardy. It was also with the observer skills. Yeah, till next time, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. See y'all later.
See ya.